was going to ask the same question, and that answer is kind of what I expected. But
Mm-hmm.
more broadly, you opened this briefing by saying that Russia is undermining international diplomacy and as a consequence, undermining the foundations of, quote, our modern global order. Why on earth would you facilitate the entry to and host the head of the Russian spy intelligence service, which presumably is involved in what you say is undermining modern world order?
Should we also ask them not to be a part of the P5+1 Iran negotiations?
I don't know. It just seems to me
Or
odd
not
that
to
you're
work on-
accusing them of basically shaking the foundations of the globe, and at the same time, you're perfectly happy to talk to them in other formats, in other scenarios.
Modern day diplomacy requires that we work with some countries on some issues, even when we have strong disagreements on others.
But this is not just one issue. You accuse them of undermining the modern global order, not just undermining peace in Ukraine.
As it relates to Ukraine, it was a comment on Ukraine.
So the modern global order depends on what happens in Ukraine?
I think the world is looking at what happens in Ukraine as a reflection of Russia's actions.
But the problem is that the rhetoric doesn't match the action. If you really think that the Russians are undermining the modern global order, which is a pretty big thing, then why on earth would you be talking to them in the way that you do on issues
because we talk to a range of countries where we have disagreements, and there are still some issues where we find agreements.
But you don't accuse any other country of undermining the modern global order.
There are certainly many countries we have issues with on a range of issues that we still engage with diplomatically, Matt.
But not to this extent. I mean, you basically painted a picture of them as being like, I don't know, Dr. Evil or something.
I'm sure we can get you comments we've made about other countries' actions, if you'd like, that are critical that we still work with.
I've been doing this for a long time. I've never heard anyone accuse this building accuse any other country of undermining the foundations of the modern global order, ever. I mean,
all right, well then you should file an AP story on it.
I think you'll probably find one.